watch
How?
this?
How?
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 Ew,
How do you watch this?
Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants.
You're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in the genre we love, but they don't. My name is Megan, and I love romance.
My name is Demi, and I love horror.
And this week, as part of our common thread to find the worst possible Rotten Tomatoes rating combined with actor profile, we have a movie which I now know is pronounced Gigli,
Yes.
spelled basically Gigli, Gigli, with J-Lo and Ben Affleck, and it has 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, which
It's
honestly
too high.
feels really generous.
Feels generous.
Feels generous. There's some
I'll-
things I'm going to tell you about this. I think
Yeah.
it's going to clarify a few things for you about how
Okay.
this was ever able to get made.
Okay.
And but there's still some questions. you know.
Yeah. I will be honest. I would watch Alone in the Dark again over watching
Over
this again.
this.
I was like, wow. I really thought Alone in the Dark was it. And then watching this, I was like, you know what? Alone in the Dark wasn't that bad.
I don't know what I was thinking, because I think I read Psychologically Challenged as part of like the intro to this. No part of me
Girl.
was expecting
I
this.
I couldn't believe it. I felt like I shouldn't be watching this. It
Yeah.
felt like
Demi texted me last night and said, I feel like I should go to jail because I watched this movie. And yeah,
okay.
it's especially the ending, dude. I
Oh
don't
my-
know.
oh
It's
my-
all
Oh my god. This,
Yeah.
it's too much. I couldn't we're gonna have to start. Okay.
yeah. We'll get into it.
So the
I-
movie is Gigli,
Gigli.
whatever.
It rhymes with really.
Says-
That's what he
yeah.
says like 3 times in the movie.
His name's Larry. The movie's called Larry.
And honestly, horrible name. Larry.
Awful name. It is
Larry Gigli.
awful.
Yeah.
Sorry to any Larry
No.
Giglis out there.
Right. I mean, God, if there's any, change your name. Hey, Copper.
So this is a
Seriously.
2003 movie. It is rated R. It is 2
Mhm.
hours, 1 minute. It's a romantic comedy crime movie. I'll be honest, the tone was lost. I don't know what they were going
Yeah.
for, so maybe you'll have some answers for that.
I do have
Okay.
answers for you. And I don't know, do you want me to tell you now or do you want me to wait till the end to give you the big plot twist?
Let's wait till the end because I have so much to say about this movie.
Okay.
So, director
Yeah.
is Martin Brest, who did Beverly Hills Cop and Meet Joe Black. So I was very surprised about this
Yes.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I agree. No, you know what? I'm going to tell you at the beginning. I have to tell you now. I literally can't get through this first thing with you talking about Martin Brest because
Okay.
it doesn't make sense. Okay. I'm just going to tell you.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a mob movie.
Okay. That's what it felt like.
Yes. And then on set, J-Lo and Ben met. She's married at the time.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. They get divorced. She gets divorced with her person because she wants to get that Ben Affleck. And they hook up and the studio wants to monopolize on their relationship, their very public relationship. So they're like, no, we're
Okay.
going to make this a rom-com. And so production halted for 8 months. They were at a standstill.
Oh
And
my God.
No one could. Martin Brest had a 160-minute cut apparently of what he wanted it to be.
Oh my
and
God.
He is quoted as saying that he should have quit and let the project die rather than let this monstrosity get published. They broke him down to the point where it was like, fine, just release the cut you want. He never directed another movie again after this because he was so upset about this experience.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Poor Martin.
I know. I was like, this is because I'm watching this and I'm like, and everything I'm reading, people are talking about what director he is, and I'm looking him up and
Yeah.
I'm like, how did this man who made like
Right.
Meet Joe Black make such
we
a
get here?
horrible film. And there's moments throughout the movie, and this is we can talk about as we go. There's moments where you can almost see where that could be a decent movie. If there wasn't a weird rom-com musical number over top, if there wasn't
there is one scene where I was like, damn. This
it's gonna be
it's gotta be the same scene. Cause I was like, okay. Yeah. Holy shit. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really sad. And I'm like, man, I wish I could see what this movie was supposed to be, because it probably still wouldn't be for me. I still wouldn't love it. I mean, the whole angle with the mentally challenged kidnapping.
Don't approve of that.
No, don't love that. But I think this would have been probably a decent movie. At least it would have probably
at least
60,
for this
70%.
time. Yeah, at least for that time, I think it could have, been decent.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, so to talk about what actually happened in this movie. So it opens up. We meet Larry, our main character, played by Ben Affleck. He's talking to the camera.
And it's an interesting, I was just gonna say, it's like this interesting way to start. Where I was like, oh, like I'm watching this, and it's like it's an interesting, very early 2000s way to like start something uniquely. And I was like, this can't be that bad. How is this gonna be that bad? It starts interesting.
Yeah. So he is talking to the camera, but he's actually talking to a man that he has wrapped up in a washing machine, and he's threatening him because this man owes Lewis money, who is the guy that Larry works for, basically. And so he's not very intimidating, and that part of that could be the rom-com overlay. I don't think Ben Affleck's a bad actor, but I just it's not giving mobster.
No, I don't think he did a good, his best work in this role. First of all, the Italian sort of accent.
His accent was here and there.
So bad. I was like, dude, stop it. He's like, ma. And I'm like, dude, you.
Yeah, it was not great.
No, it was not good. And he doesn't read as mobster, especially when he's apologizing to the mob boss man and sniveling. And I'm like,
yeah. And I don't know, maybe it could have worked if it was more serious and he was just this guy that's trying his best, but he's just not really there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, so much was cut, and I didn't even watch the trailer. Apparently, if you watch the trailer, half the trailer is unshown footage from the movie.
God. Wow.
So I wonder, part of me is curious, how much of what we see was just B-reel that they had filmed to have backup, possible cuts, and how much of the actual meat of the movie was lost.
God fucking knows, girl.
Yeah.
But so, and already the music choice is interesting. It feels like you can tell it's just cheap. Weird choice for music. So I'm like, God, this is already gonna be bad.
It doesn't make sense. It's literally this brutal scene, and it's do-do-do,
yes,
do-do-do.
It's royalty free music.
Yes.
I'm like, hello, okay, sure. We meet Lewis, who's the mob boss here, and he's basically like, Larry, I need you to kidnap this guy, because my friend is, he's gonna hurt my friend, so I need you to kidnap his relative who has, quote, psychological defects. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe an emo kid, I'm thinking depression,
Yeah, that's what my brain went to as well. I also went to someone who's looks a little bit scary, like a skater boy vibes. In
yes,
the 2000s.
That's what I was picturing in my head. Innocent me. So Larry's like, yeah, I got this. I'll kidnap this person. I got you. So then we go to the next scene, and he's being walked through this adult center for people with disability, mental disability.
From behind as I'm watching it happen, I was like, no.
Yeah. I was like, please don't let me recognize the actor. I know what's gonna happen. I immediately recognized him, and I was like, God.
Yes, his name is Justin Bartha. He is well known for his role in National Treasure.
Yeah, the hot guy.
Yeah, he's this is God, National Treasure was what put him on the map, but I think this was I think this was beforehand because National Treasure, I believe, was 2004.
This was, I think, like his
Yeah.
first main role.
Yeah.
It
Apparently,
looked like it, yeah.
Seth
which is crazy.
Rogen said on like one of those Tonight Show things,
Yeah.
he said that he auditioned to be the character of Brian, and he was like, if that tape got released now, my career would be over.
Oh my God. I can imagine.
Yeah.
The only other movie that I can think of that had a similar situation was the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, which was his first role. The
Good Will
God,
Hunting?
with Johnny Depp. Oh my God, something grapes. What's
Eating Gilbert Grape? I
Yeah.
haven't watched that one yet.
Okay. So that one is obviously more serious tone.
Yeah.
I don't know watching it now how it holds up, at least that
Yeah.
part of it. But this was just very much not it. And it just felt like the writers, everyone was like, they've never met someone
Yeah.
with mental disability before, and we're like,
Yeah.
this is good.
Yeah,
This is it just felt very caricature, and
Yes.
obviously like everyone's different, behavior's different, and it's just a taboo thing. I don't like
Yes.
the idea of casting an actor in this role that does not have.
Yes. And I believe what he said was like he was like the character says at one point that he was born with brain damage, so he just doesn't like. I mean, I would rather have seen an actual person with brain damage play, but like
they could have gone about this differently for sure.
It's also just like I don't hold it against Justin Bartha for doing the role because it was 2001 or 2 when it was
I'm not going to
filmed.
cancel him.
No, I can understand you're trying to get your foot in the door, whatever, and there's no context. We don't have the education we do now about what's like ethical and what's not. Yeah. But it is really uncomfortable. And
I just would never audition for something like this. Like
I couldn't.
There's no way. I feel like they could have
be desperate.
Yeah, they could have done. I don't know. Maybe like someone with Down syndrome and a character had Down syndrome.
Right.
If they wanted that type of like.
I mean, I don't think it was a necessary plot point at all.
No, not really. Like, because it's like, what is the guy gonna care more? Like, it's still his brother, you know?
Still his brother. I mean, I think they're trying to say like that's why it was easy for him to like kidnap him or whatever. But I don't know.
I could have made him a child too.
Yeah, I mean,
which he kind of behaved like one. So
or just like a teen.
Yeah.
In one of his quotes, he said, I had no idea there was anything going on between J-Lo and Ben, and I feel like we can talk about that later. So he basically talks about how, like, this jump-started his career, so I think in some ways he's grateful to it, but it also was a learning experience for him, and he was like, this is that thing that won't die, this movie, where everyone thought it was going to be so amazing, and I think that's what it is, like, he wasn't big yet. There's big names attached to it. I mean, you have Walken, you have Pacino, you have all these people, and I could see the draw. But he doesn't really speak about his portrayal of the character very much, and I would just attribute that to, I would think, shame. Like, I would be very ashamed. I'm sorry.
I would never want to talk about this role ever again.
No. And most people, apparently, if like you even bring this up to like Ben Affleck or whatever, he just immediately shuts down.
I don't blame him.
No.
I do not blame him.
Yeah.
So he manages to just leave with Brian, is the name of this guy, the brother.
Yeah.
And they're driving. Brian's like, I need to go to Baywatch. I want to go to Baywatch. And Larry's like, yeah, well, that's where we're going. That's where we're going. They get in a car, they're driving, and then he picks up a flashlight and pretends it's a walkie-talkie. And I'm like, come on, guys. And then he's on this like walkie-talkie and is like, oh man, Baywatch is closed. Sorry, Brian, we can't go today. And Brian's like, oh, okay. And then he immediately calls Lewis on an actual cell phone. And I'm like, couldn't you have pretended with the phone? So that's already
it
lets
doesn't.
You know.
Yes, I feel like it was like supposed to be cheap laughs. And I read something that Martin Brest wrote the script, and I was like, even like those little things where I'm like, okay, listen, I know he has like a reputation or whatever, but that doesn't seem very high caliber. Like, was that just a throwaway joke? He was going to see how it played out, or was it like, did he actually think that was good?
Nope, did not like that joke. So I was like, all right,
no. And it's mean.
It is mean. It's like I said, it's just inappropriate. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So they go to Larry's apartment. Brian's like, I want to go home. And Larry's like, you can't go home. And Brian's already getting on Larry's nerves.
Yeah.
And then J-Lo shows up and she's wearing the lowest fucking jeans, but looks so good in them. And I was like,
she did.
Damn.
She looked great. I mean, she was able to
Like,
work it.
You could see her ass cheeks when she was walking, like from behind.
Really?
It was crazy.
I didn't notice.
I did. It was crazy. Like, you could see it. It was wild. I was like, oh my God, how do you sit in jeans like that?
I don't think you can. You have to lean.
I think she was leaning like most of the time
Yeah,
because your whole ass would be out. That's how low they were.
Yes, her clothes were always very. There was like one shirt she wore that was basically just ripped completely open.
I know exactly. I wrote a note about it. I was like, what is this shirt?
Yes.
It was literally like held on the side with some bobby
safety pins.
Safety pins. And it was just like right here.
Yeah.
And it's just like open. I was like, oh my God.
I know. I was like, dude, what? Who spends money on a shirt that's just a piece of cloth?
It literally, it's giving hobo.
Yeah.
So she shows up and Larry's like, yo, what's up, girl? And she's like, I need to use your phone. And she's just being very like sexy. She's like, I'll be real quick. And so he's like, all right, fine, you can use my phone. And so she's like on the couch and she like is on the phone and it's like, oh, what's your name? Talking to Brian. And Larry's like, oh, his name's Ben. Obviously, Larry doesn't want people to know what's like happening. Unknowingly to him, J-Lo's character named Ricky is a contractor gangster who was brought on by Lewis to work with Larry because Lewis didn't think Larry could handle this. It's just such a huge thing that they're doing. He was worried about that. So Ricky lets Larry know that and they have to work together. And Larry's already like, fuck this. I don't need your help, blah, blah, blah. So they just have to work together. It's what it is. It's that night. Brian's sleeping on the couch and Ricky is like in the kitchen. So they go for bed. And she's like on the hard floor, the kitchen hard floor. Of all places in this fucking apartment.
I know, there's gotta be carpet. I think there is carpet.
I think there's carpet. She has like, it's like a satin scarf. She's laying on.
Yes.
And like a kitchen towel is her blanket. I couldn't believe it. I'm like looking at what she's unfolding. And I'm like, this had to be a way for her to try and get in his bed because there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Larry's like, you can take half the bed, I'm not gonna let you sleep on the floor, blah, 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 blah. And then, so he's in this bathroom and he's like, yeah, I'm the bull. Like, real macho. Yeah.
So cringy. Yeah. I know. It was so bad where I was like, stop. If anyone actually did this, I would be like,
dude, awful. And so he comes out in this like satin robe, and I was like, I'm already
embarrassed.
Yes. And he's like trying to flex, and she's laughing but trying to focus on her book. And then he lays next to her, and he's like, you're like very beautiful. And she's like, you're not my type. I'm gay. And I was like, she's just saying that. No, she is gay. And I was very confused. And I was like, Megan. Is this a fake romance where they don't actually get together? Because I'd be really upset.
No, it's worse. It's worse, Demi. It's worse.
So, like, they go to sleep, and Larry just proceeds to hit on her and stuff. And we'll talk about a scene in a little bit. First, Christopher Walken shows up.
Yeah, dude, it's so random. It's so random, and he never shows back up again.
No. Like 10 minutes he's there, and he is a federal, not federal, he's like a cop. He's a detective.
Yeah.
And so he's like, Larry, a federal prosecutor's brother went missing. Do you know anything about this? And so that's where Larry and Ricky find out about this. They didn't know that the person that was after Lewis's friend is actually the federal prosecutor that's doing a court case against him. So they don't open up. Christopher Walken's like, all right, goodbye, I guess. Like you said, doesn't show up again. And so Larry and Ricky are like, fuck, this is not good. This is way bigger than we thought it was going to be. And so they leave the apartment for a little bit, I guess, to prevent cops from
I
looking.
wouldn't want to be in and out of the. I would think that someone was
No.
watching my apartment at that point, but
Yeah, I don't know. But they leave. They go to a diner, and there's like these hoodlum kids playing music really loud. Larry's like, yo, lower that down. And they don't listen. They call him a bitch. And Ricky's like, I'll handle it. And she just goes this whole thing about Thai Muay Chai or something.
yeah,
She's
something
like,
about popping eyeballs out.
Yeah, as if she's intimidating enough to really pull this off.
No.
She's not.
No.
And she's like, go to school. And then as they're leaving, Larry grabs the laptop there and was like, oh, nice laptop. Breaks it. He's like, suckmydick.com. One of many quotes from this movie.
I know there are some things that were written in this movie that I would love to sit down and talk to Martin Brest about, because why was
It's
that
incredible. It felt like this was AI written.
Yeah.
This is pure human creativity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're driving back, and Larry's mom calls him. So they have to make a quick detour. This whole fucking scene. Larry's mom, he has to give her a shot on her ass, which is fine. But she has a pink thong on. And I was like, why would you like wear that knowing your son's going to help you with your medicine? And they're trying to play her off as this like New York Italian.
It was not good, and it was not authentic to.
No.
It's honestly, it's almost a little offensive how they portrayed Italian Americans.
How did you feel watching this movie?
You know what? I felt attacked.
I mean, your
felt
type of
attacked.
Italian is like more pure than. Oh my god, that's messed up to say. Oh, whatever.
What? Yeah.
Fuck New York Italians.
So to give you my lineage, we started as New York Italians before we became New Jersey Italians. Yeah, we were New York Italians.
So
and
it's
then
truly West Side. We're truly West Side Story.
Oh, that's so sweet of us.
It's really cute. We broke the barriers.
We did. Love can win. Love can conquer all. I don't know anything about the New Yorkers of my lineage, except that they left New York. So I don't think they were there for very long. Yeah.
Probably for good reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like a scene, I guess, to show like, oh, Larry's mom. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters about the scene.
I honestly think that in the original concept, it was supposed to show part of how beaten down he is. And how, like, he doesn't have anything going for him. And, like, his mom is kind of, like, picking on him or whatever. He doesn't have that's how I'm taking of what was the intention. And I wonder, apparently there's, like, a scene in the trailer of, like, him. There's some depression thing going on with him. And then something connected with the mom. But
yeah,
we don't get that.
Yeah, because Ricky's like, what's making you sad? Why are you sad? I can tell you're sad. And he's like, I'm fine. And I was like, what?
She was like, I know a man that when he lashes out in anger, he's actually just really sad. I'm like, girl, what?
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Okay.
So, after the scene, they're back at the apartment. Ricky's doing yoga. And I don't even want to describe the scene. I just felt like I never wanted to have sex again.
This scene.
And this was before another scene that really solidified me not wanting to have sex again.
Here's the thing with this movie in general. It was really boring. So it's like this movie in general, there's just so many of these long, drawn out scenes between her and him where there's just nothing to keep it exciting. There's nothing where you're like, ooh, will they, won't they? It's literally just like, she's not into him. She's gay and he is full of himself. Like, that's how it's reading this whole time. So I was bored. I'm like, crocheting.
It's literally, and it was like the language wasn't sexy. He was like, the penis is perfect. You should love it, basically. And she's like,
and then she does this whole analogy about the mouth, the lips of the mouth, comparing them to the. And I was just like, I'm not like, she's delivering it in this way, like, is this, wow, isn't this an amazing like speech? And I was just like,
yeah, she's like, the female form in the vagina's the best. And I was like, fucking sick. great.
Right.
I
don't know.
love this scene. I loved this scene. Fantastic.
I hated, like, I hate this whole subplot of her being
Dude,
gay and him wanting to get with her. And this
it
is why I never watched the movie Chasing Amy, which he is also in, which is
mhm.
another romance movie about them turning a lesbian straight. And I just can't watch that movie. It has a 72%, but I can't.
Like, I don't want to, erase bi people. She could be
No.
bi, but it's never fully, like, indicated that way. And just the
No.
language and some of these scenes, it just seems like she likes women. That
Yes.
is it. But maybe she can make an exception. That's, like, how it came off. And I was like, that's not real life. If
No.
women like women, they like women. It's like,
But
you're not
also,
going to be
like,
like, actually, I might like a man.
I mean, but there are people who are like, listen, I only like one man. Like, I've talked to people before who are like, I'm
Right.
a lesbian, but I only like this one man. And
Right.
that's fine. But if you're going to have that be the story, you have to have that story told well, and you have to show the connection they have. You have to show this
Mm-hmm.
drawn, like, whatever that they, like, we did that in My Old Ass, right? She was
Yeah.
gay and she did have the exception with whatever his name is,
Right.
Chandler. I can't remember. Chad.
Yeah.
But they played it in this way that worked, that you believed in their relationship, and you
Right.
do not get that at
Yeah.
all
I mean,
here.
I don't know if I want to call it an exception, but like, just you
Right.
are thinking one way and then you meet someone and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess I'm.
Yeah. I think I
I mean,
like you.
everyone's
Yeah.
bisexual. It's just like, how bisexual are you,
It's a spectrum.
It really is. And yeah, it just wasn't done well with this movie.
No.
There was no connection between these two. It just felt like Larry
No.
was gross and was like,
It's like
But
Justin
what about
Bartha.
a penis? What about
My
a
God.
penis? They're gross. Like, why? If I'm with women, why would I want to be with a man?
No. Larry is an abominable character who has
Dude,
nothing about him that makes you like him at all.
no.
And there's one scene that I'll talk about at the end where I start to be like, maybe he's a human being, but that was it. And then he's the
Maybe.
worst. And then she's annoying and just like
She is annoying.
has nothing else to her. And I don't know how they fell in love with each other in this tumultuous way. Like, I think they must have just enjoyed the image of themselves together, because Justin Bartha was like, I had no idea they had anything going on. Yeah, no one sees their chemistry at
Honestly,
all.
yeah, it could have just been that, just very outwardly attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, J-Lo's gorgeous, so like,
Yeah.
of course, you can be like, oh, whoa.
Right.
She has nothing else going on for her. She just seems like the
Mm.
most annoying fucking human being ever.
Yeah.
But she's got a nice ass, so it's like,
Right. Yeah.
sometimes you have to sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't have it all.
Can't have it all. So Lewis calls and
Mhm.
was like, yo, we need you to send Brian's thumb as a sign that we're not fucking around. Mail it out. And of course, Ricky and Larry are like, we don't want to do that. And of course, like, he's a nice little guy, he's
Yeah.
just doing he likes calling the Australian weather
Yeah.
on the phone to listen to her voice. And he's just watching cartoons, he's just hanging out.
Can we take a second to talk about the way that
Mhm.
Larry treats Brian?
It's an asshole.
He's literally the worst.
Me.
He is constantly screaming at him. I'm like, dude, I was feeling very triggered. I was
No.
like,
No sympathy for this. It's like, bro, you kidnapped this guy. He's like not sure what's going on.
no. I felt like I was watching a movie set in 1950 where there's an angry old dad who doesn't understand how his son has autism and is very angry that he doesn't understand him at all. That's what it
Yeah.
felt like watching, where I was like, how is he thinking this is appropriate in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah. And Larry is like that almost the whole fucking movie. And it's just,
Yep.
he's like that with him. And then he's a big pervert with
Yep.
Ricky. And it's like, what am I supposed to like here? What?
No.
Nothing.
Not likable at all. And honestly, like, I used to think Ben Affleck was pretty attractive, like Once Upon a Time. I feel that there's nothing attractive about his character
Not in this movie. Hell no.
at all. Nothing, like, everything is wrong. I'm sorry, everything's wrong. Even like the overly slicked back hair. I'm not a big fan of that in general. Some guys can make it work. He can't.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just something I was not liking him in this movie at all.
No. From top to bottom.
Top to bottom, inside out, flip him around.
Mm-hmm,
So this next scene was fucking bonkers. So this blonde woman shows up at Larry's door.
God.
And she rushes in. Ricky comes out in a bath, like in a fucking towel, and it's like, oh my God, what are you doing here? And it's this blonde woman's an ex, Ricky's ex. And she's like, oh, you're fucking a guy now. Well, they just like are yelling, escalating. And Ricky's like, don't say my real name. So, because Ricky's a fake name. She doesn't want anyone to know her real name. She's like, don't say my real name. They're just yelling. It's escalating. And then this blonde goes into the kitchen, grabs a knife, and cuts her wrist.
Dude, that was honestly,
camera.
It was such a shock to the system. I was jolted.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, she didn't cut her wrist. And then blood started flowing. Sorry, this is very, like, triggering.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Blood started, it was insane. I was like, oh my God, what is this movie? What is happening right now? It's so
disgusting. It's honestly, this is where I'm like, okay, yeah, this was meant to clearly be a mob movie. Why would you include that scene?
Why would you keep that?
It's 2 hours long. There's no reason for it. The only reason they did it is because they needed a reason for them to get to the hospital.
You're right.
That's
what they do. They go to the hospital. Ricky comes out in that fucking barely shirt, and she's like, I don't want to cut Brian's finger off. Let's figure something out. So, idiots, they go into the hospital. Ricky distracts the guard. Larry and Brian easily go into a room where they have dead bodies so that Larry can cut a thumb off. And I'm like, why would you guys think this would actually work? Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. But they cut the thumb off while Brian's singing Baby Got Back in the background. And I'm like, why are you bringing this poor guy into this, like, situation?
And I think these are moments where it's supposed to be funny. And maybe if it was cut differently, it could have been kind of funny to have him cutting off a thumb with some dude singing music in the background. Maybe. But no part of it, especially with this little, like, romance music in the foreground, like...
Well, like, any scene with Brian, I couldn't, like, watch. I was just sitting there, just, like, quiet. I couldn't laugh. I couldn't enjoy myself because I'm like, I feel really uncomfortable with the depiction of this character, and I don't know how to feel. So I'm just, like, sitting there silently while Larry's using a butter knife to cut this thumb off, and Brian's singing Baby Got Back, rapping it. Well, they get the thumb, they go to the post office, put the thumb in the envelope in the post office, and mail it out.
That's the number. You're gonna get caught, my guy.
So then they're driving again, and Larry's like, you know what's making me sad? This beautiful woman who is the coolest, the hottest, the smartest chick ever is a dyke. And I'm like,
yeah,
this is what's making you sad, Larry? Really?
I wanted...
Sorry, bitch.
And she's just, like, simpering in the seat, and I'm like... I've never been more icked. I've never been more icked out.
Correct. If I was Ricky, I'd be like, you know what? I'm headed out. You can't, like, why can't you accept that I like women?
Lewis, figure someone else to babysit him, because not interested. How many times does she have to say it?
So they get a hotel room for some reason. They're at a hotel, and Ricky makes a comment. She asks Larry to check his fingernails if they are long, and he puts his hand out like that. And she's like, did you know that when men put their hand out like this, they're more on their feminine side rather than, like, holding it up like that? And he's like, no, I'm a man. And she's like, are you gay? And I'm like, what is this conversation? I'm like, is she trying to convince herself that, like, he's feminine enough to fuck or something? Like, it felt very weird. And he's like, no, I'm not gay. And then she kisses him. And then she leans back and she says...
Sorry, it took me a second to figure out where this was going. Yes, okay.
She says, it's turkey time.
He said, what?
Yeah, like anyone else would. He's like, what? And she says, gobble gobble. I just like would never
No.
compare my
No.
vagina to a turkey
No.
to be gobbled.
I just like, was there a scene where there was like a Thanksgiving turkey and this is some inside joke? Because that's the
Nope.
only way.
It was out of pocket. Why would you say that? That is the most unsexy thing you could ever say. Ever. And so she's like, come on. You talked a big talk. And he did. And he was like,
did.
you know, like a woman knows the body the best. So he's like chickening out. And I was
Yeah.
like, bro, you could try. Like, yeah, you're probably not going to be as good as a woman, but you know, like,
Yeah.
this is your chance. And they, like, have really bad sex. She's, like, straddling him. And I was like, damn, he's not even gonna put work in. He's just
Dude,
laying
I was not
there.
even paying attention. That's how uninterested I was in
in
their relationship.
It was so unsexy.
It was a really long scene, too. It was really long.
Giving, it was giving nothing.
No.
I was like, yeah, if I was her, I'd be like, I'm definitely not into men because this was the worst sex of my life.
It wasn't even like, you know, in a lot of movies where they do like the like dramatic pan up of the bodies and like things like that, you're getting nothing. It's just like them on top of each other.
And Affleck's face is like, ugh. Which, to be fair, if a hot Latina's bouncing on you, probably. But like, it was insane. It was insane. It was so boring. And then she's like, after they're done, she's like, I'm gonna leave in the morning after this is done. Not in the morning. I'm gonna leave after this is done.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. So obviously she did not vibe the sex.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Obviously, I could tell. So they meet up with Lewis. Lewis calls him. He's like, hey, we're meeting up with my friend. So this is the friend from New York that they are doing all this to protect. It's Al Pacino. And I was like, my man, what are you doing here?
I know.
But he genuinely was so good. Like, this scene,
is the scene,
I was
right?
like,
this is the memorable scene
yeah.
Because I was watching this and I was like, I'm invested.
Yeah,
this is
I was
amazing.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Al Pacino can play an intimidating gangster.
Oh my God, he did such a good job.
Yeah, so he's talking, and he's pretty much talking about, like, what's going on, and fucking shoots Lewis in the head straight out and was like, you fucking idiot. Why would you kidnap prosecutor's brother? This makes it so much worse for me and all this. It's fair. Like, now people are looking at him. It's just a lot. So he's pissed about this.
Yeah.
And I would have shit my pants if I was Larry.
No kidding. Yes.
So then,
it was terrifying. And I could see almost the comedy it was meant to be because he's like sitting next to this dude who has a hole in his head and he's talking to them. But then the stupidest thing in the world happens. J-Lo opens her mouth.
Yeah, she opens in any situation. She opens her fucking mouth and she just tries to act tough, you know, but she convinces him because basically the thumbprint obviously didn't fit Brian's.
Yeah.
So that's what escalates things. And so she's like, we can handle it. We'll make sure that the kid doesn't talk. And manages to convince Al Pacino, I don't remember his fucking name.
No, the federal prosecutor dude. But he's like, meanwhile, while she's talking, it's again with that romance score playing. And I'm like, this is not the music for this moment. Who okayed this?
It is so off. It is so off. Then it's the three of them, Brian, Larry, Ricky, they're driving to pretty much get the fuck out of there. They're going to try and escape, get out of here. They're going to drop Brian back off, I believe, at like the center, and they're just going to get the fuck out. But then they see the beach, and Brian's like, it's Baywatch. They're recording for Baywatch. I don't think it was Baywatch. I don't know what they were recording for, but it was a bunch of hot people in bathing suits and film crews and all that. So I thought Brian was going to fucking jump out of the car and he was going to die. I wasn't sure. I was like, you know what? With the way this movie is going, I wouldn't be surprised. He doesn't do that, luckily. Larry's somehow convinced to stop and let Brian go check this thing out.
Yeah.
So then Larry ends up calling the brother, the prosecutor, the courthouse to let them know where Brian is, and it hangs up. So now people are on the way. They're like, "Go ahead, Brian. Go enjoy Baywatch." Oh my God, I forgot to say one quote
Uh,
that
was
Brian
it?
said earlier.
Was it? Oh, not Brian. See, there was a quote from Larry that you missed. That was "moo."
Yeah. Yeah, there was a whole thing where
Yeah.
like he's like, "I'm the bull, you're the cow," and then after sex he was like, "Moo." What was that stupid that TikTok where it was like the cow, the baby cow, and someone recorded over it and acted like it was what the cow was actually saying, and it was like, "Moo." Do you remember that?
No. Oh my God.
But that's what he sounded like. No, so this is when Ricky's at the hospital tending to her ex. And Brian says that the pretty Baywatch girls makes his penis sneeze. That's the point where Brett left. He was watching a movie and he got up and was like, I'm out. I'm gone.
That's fair. I wanted to when he said that, I was like, what?
It was
Why?
it was nuts. That was such a crazy line.
I can't.
Anyway, I had to say
can't.
that.
And
So-
then he goes, "God bless you." And
Yes.
Larry thinks that he's talking to him, and he's like, "Thanks, man. Thank you." He's like, "No, that's what I say to my penis after it sneezes."
I
I
don't
just
know. I might be gay after this movie. Like it is. All right, we're almost done.
it's so bad. These are the points where I'm like, I don't even know how it could have been cut into something better because of how poor those.
It had to be everything had to be removed.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing to save in this movie
Uh-uh.
at all. So Brian's going down to the beach and everyone has to pair up to dance on TV or whatever. And he pairs up with like the hottest blonde that somehow wasn't paired up. And she talks to him and she has an Australian accent.
Of course.
And so Larry, meanwhile, is like, "Hey, Ricky, take my car and get out of here. I want you to be safe."
Yes, and this is the only time he's ever looked human because he starts to like cry about it. This ties in with how the ending was supposed to go because he's so emotional, and you're like, why is he so emotional? Because he was supposed to die at the end of the movie.
Okay. Yeah. It I would have liked that better.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree with you. He was supposed to bleed out on the beach with Brian dancing around his body.
That's just beautiful imagery.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ricky's like, "All right, thank you."
Mm-hmm.
Leaves. Larry, meanwhile, is like kind of watching and seemingly hearing Brian talk to this blonde, even though they're way on the beach. There's no way.
Dumb. So dumb.
And then Larry's walking out, and Ricky drives up with the car, and she's like, "Rochelle." That's her name. Her real name is Rochelle. Before she left, he was like, "If you ever think about hopping the fence, let me know." And then when she shows up again, he was like, "You decided to hop the fence?" And I was like, "Bro, stop." And she was like, "I'm gonna drive you at least out of town."
Yeah.
She shut that shit down.
Yeah. Dude, you are not that great.
God.
It was tough.
They drive away, and that's
yeah, and it ends on like Brian dancing and with this random lady, and it just feels horrible. The whole movie was horrible. It was really bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, it's really horrible.
I'm sorry.
My deleted scene was the whole movie, like barefoot.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't be specific. Like I kind of want to say like everything with Brian. Like I just like really could not.
Everything was really
focus.
bad. I was like trying to figure out, I was like, what would I say? Like aside from the whole movie, aside from like everything with Brian, aside from saying the entirety of the subplot of her being gay, because why would you? I just feels like it was like cannon fodder for men to be like, I can make a woman straight.
Yes, exactly.
But I was like, I think the most nonsensical scene, if we had to keep the general gist of the movie the same, it was like the woman who slit her wrists. I think that was just the most
That's probably, yeah.
confusing bit, but I agree with you. I think I didn't like the way they portrayed Brian. I didn't like the way I didn't like the way they portrayed anybody. I didn't like
Yeah,
anybody's
I think they
character.
offended everyone
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Yep.
Yeah. My most memorable scene is actually it's turkey time
Oh, fair.
because I think I'm going to
Okay.
quote that forever now.
Okay. That's
So,
nice.
yeah, it just like it was such an insane
Terrible.
quote.
And Brett didn't even get to watch that bit. That's sad.
No. But I acted it out for
Wow.
him. So he got to
Oh my
experience it a
god.
little bit.
Amazing. Lucky him.
Main character, hard pass. I felt no
Uh-huh.
attraction to Larry.
Yes.
I hated him.
Yeah, pass.
Side character, Ricky, I'd smash, you know.
Yeah,
She
I
was
mean,
like
she's
annoying.
hot, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I do have to say, apparently in the original writing, and who knows how successful it was, but the
Mhm.
claim is that this was supposed to be more of a buddy cop movie,
Okay.
not between him and her, but between him and Brian.
Okay.
And that apparently it humanized him more.
Okay.
I don't know if that's possible, but that's the claim of what it was supposed to be. It's
Okay.
easy to say in retrospect though, because like Martin Brest, they put production on hold for 8 months. They, he wanted this to be this great thing, but maybe it was just shit to begin with, and it would have been shit no matter what
That's
cut
true.
you did. It could be, but I don't
Was
know.
Ricky always gay in this, or they just make her?
She was always gay, but this wasn't supposed to be like really focused on their romance. It was
Okay.
supposed to make him rethink his notion and understanding of heterosexuality and masculinity,
Okay.
which doesn't read at all.
No, he learned nothing.
No.
Even at the very end, he was like, "So you like men now? Why
Right.
would you, like, why don't you respect her as a person? Like,
Yeah.
take no for an answer, fucking scumbag." Fall in love, 0, obviously. There's no scenario where I'm
Correct.
falling in love with anyone in this
No.
fucking movie. I'm not recommending this movie.
No.
I have to give
Don't.
this 0. I gave Alone in the Dark 0.1. I have to give this less
Yeah.
than Alone in the Dark. And Alone in the Dark
was
is
rough.
fucking
Yeah.
garbage. That movie's awful. But this movie was awful plus disturbing in a lot of different ways. We
Yeah,
did
I
get
can't
it's
even get
turkey
mad
time,
at you.
but
Yeah, it's true. We did. But no, I agree with you. I think that this was like problematic in a lot of ways. And when I look back on, Barefoot was problematic. This one was worse because he was actually unwell or just impaired in some capacity, and the representation isn't great. And
right.
this whole thread we did was rough. This was a rough couple weeks.
It was.
I
have a lot of regrets.
Good movies. Yeah, I do too.
Like I said, if we do something similar, it has to be a bad one we've seen that is like, okay, it's bad, but like
good bad.
You're not gonna want to fucking
be...
jump off a bridge. Yeah.
No, these were both really slow. First of all, I mean, the fact that this one was 2 hours was unbelievable. And it was long.
I kept checking how much
me
was
too.
left, and I was like, please.
At one point, I checked, it said an hour left, and I was like, the hell?
Same, girl, same. I was like, what? 59 minutes left.
It's horrible. I was just like, what can I do? And then Travis was making dinner, and he like burnt part of dinner, and I was just like, guess I can't be downstairs for a while the air vents out. So I was like, I'm gonna go upstairs and play video games. And so I took a little hiatus in the middle of the movie because I needed it.
That's lucky for you. That's
yeah,
great.
I'm sorry
Brett left me.
Yeah,
I couldn't do anything about it. I had to just fucking sit there. So
I mean, I watched it alone. I wish I made Travis watch it with me, but
Brett didn't even comment a lot. I think he was so like shocked. Usually he comments a lot, and he just was like, mostly like, what?
Yeah. I feel like he's gonna like make comments to me about it, but I just want it known that I don't like this movie either. So
yeah, no, it's
rough.
So we are announcing our threads now. So for next week, we are going to have the common thread of twist ending. And so my movie for Megan is Malignant. And it is, I know it sounds really awful.
Oh,
The
I
name is a
hate
little
it
scary.
already. The name is the scariest. Malignant. That's like my nightmare. Demi, is this a health one?
No.
You're going to jail.
It's like, you'll watch, you'll see. So this
Okay.
woman, it's about this woman, and
Uh-huh.
she has these really terrifying dreams where
Okay.
people are being killed. It's like they feel really real. She's having these visions, and then she realizes that they're actually happening. And that's pretty much it. So
That's like stranger than fiction. Have you ever seen that one?
no.
Maybe I'll give it to you someday.
Okay. Then I'll be like, oh, it is like Malignant. So I don't know if you can watch this movie free anywhere. It used to be on Max. It doesn't look like it is anymore,
Okay.
unfortunately. All right, close
Okay.
this out. This
Sorry,
fucking
right. It's
episode.
my turn. Thanks for listening to How Do You Watch This? You can find us on Instagram, How Do You Watch This, and TikTok, How Do You Watch, or email us at howdoyouwatchthis@gmail.com. If you like the show, support us by giving us a review or recommend to a friend. We're also on YouTube, so if you're not currently watching us, you can go there and look at our faces.
Anyway,
Thanks.
goodbye.
Bye.